Good morning to all. This is Nabul Mira. Our subject is PPSC for first civil. In that last topic of second unit, that is looping applications. Okay. So today's our topic is looping applications. Before that, what is our last topic? That is break and continue statements. Okay. So this topic already completed yesterday's class. So I am recalling again. Yes, what is the meaning of breaking and continue statement? Here, breaking and continue statements are very useful statements. These two statements are very useful in looping. Okay, na? So here there are three kinds of loops are there for while, do while. Okay, na? In any loop, we can directly use these break and continue statements. Coming to our break statements. Here, break statement is used to control the statements. Whenever break is encountered within the loop, the program control immediately break out of the loop and resume execution with the statements following the loop. That means whenever break statement is executed, loop is break. That means loop stop its execution and print the previous statements. That is the meaning of break statements. Okay na? So we have seen this example. Okay now what here I want to print I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. Here there is a one condition. If I equal to 1, then break. What happened here? So generally I want to print 1 to 10 numbers, but here break statement is there. When break statement execute, if I equal to 5, that means here when I reaches 5, it break the loop and it stop its execution and print the previous values. Those are before break. Nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4 are printed. So we have seen this example also. Okay, now so continue our coming to our next statement, that is continue statement. Here continue statement is same as break, but there is a difference. What are those? Break statement break the loop when it is executed and print the previous. Okay now in this continue statement, it only breaks the condition. It only break the condition and print the nothing but execute the next values. So look this example. We have seen this example also. So I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. Here there is a condition. If I equal to 5, then continue. What happened here? Only I value is break and remaining values are as usually printed. For example, here I equal to 1, 2, I equal to 10, 1 to 10 values I want to print. Okay na? Here, if I equal to 5, then continue. What happened here? 1 is printed, 2 is printed, 3, 4 also printed. Here I equal to 5. That means I 5 is not printed, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 also printed. Only 5 is break. That is the meaning of continue statements. Okay na? So we have seen all these examples. Okay na? Coming to our infinite loops. Yes, what is the meaning of infinite loops? Here infinite loops are one type of loops that repeat forever without stopping. Simply these infinite loops also called as endless loops. Okay na? Also called as infinite loops and also called as indefinite. So whenever this infinite loop occur in our program, it execute continuously without stop, nothing but endless. Simply we can call as infinite loops are one type of error. Generally, this type of errors occurred when the wrong variable is incremented. Consider this example. We have seen this example also. Here there are two variables are defined. Those are integer type ij. Okay na? Here I want to print 0 to 5 values. So I equal to 0, I less than 5. Here I plus plus. In the place of I plus plus, I am wrongly written j plus plus. That means here when our infinite loops are occurred, when there are wrong variable is incremented. So here I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. In the place of I I misplaced J plus plus. So in this situation, there may be get infinite loop, nothing but here infinite loop is a error. Which type of error? That is not physical error, that is a logical error. Okay, now this is about our infinite loops. So last class we have discussed these all topics. Okay, now so we have seen all examples also. Now our topic is the looping applications. Simply applications of loops only. Okay, applications of loops. Simply, yes, what is the meaning of loop here? Loop is used to repeat statement or statements many number of times. This is depends upon our condition. If condition is true, it starts its execution. How many times depends upon the condition until our condition is failed. This is a general execution of our loop. Okay. Simply, we have discussed three kinds of loops in our C programming language. What are those? While, do while, and for loop. Okay. So the major application of loops are it repeated a number of it, re- it repeated statements number of times. Generally, these kind of loops are used in any kinds of software. For example, uh, if you take for example queues, if we want to develop different types of applications like queues, okay na, trees, graphs, okay na, linked list, arrays, okay na. In this case, we need loops, any kind of loops, okay na. Yes, and okay na. So simply, if we want to develop any queues application, if you want to develop, for example, linked list, okay na. So graphs, trees, so we need these loops. So loops are very useful in data structures. Okay, na? Data structures. So if we want to develop any kind of data structures, we need these looping statements. Okay, na? So if you take general softwares, what are those? For example, if you take any website, okay, na? So these loops are very useful. So loops simply here, what is the purpose of loop here? Loops are used to execute a statement number of times, repeatedly until condition is failed. Okay, so simply three kinds of loops. These three kinds of loops using everywhere. Okay, this is the applications of loops only. Okay, so if you take for example different types of searching, okay, searching or something sorting algorithms, setting searching algorithms, also sorting algorithms, we can directly apply. So simply these are contents of our data structure. So simply in data structures these loopings are very useful. In arrays loopings are very useful. In linear or non-linear data structures, these loopings are very useful. Okay, so simply this is about our loops. This is about our loops only. So this is the end of our second unit. Okay, so this is end of our second unit. Okay, now coming to our third unit. What is that? So I am opening. Yes, just open syllabus of second unit. Yes, this is our syllabus. Yes, okay. In second unit, so there are three chapters are there. Bitwise operators completed. Next one, selection and decision making. Selection and decision making. Okay, na? So this one also completed. And next one is repetitions. Repetitions. This one also completed. Last one is looping applications completed. Example programs. Simply example programs are nothing but so these all so bitwise operators example selectional decision making example programs. Next one repetitions nothing but loopings examples. Those are all examples we have covered in our second unit. So simply second unit is completed. Okay, now coming to our third unit. I am opening third unit. Yes, this is our third unit. Okay, so this is about our third unit. Here, third unit also consists of three chapters. First one is arrays, next one strings, next one enumerated structures and unions. Enumerated structures and unions. So these three chapters are in our third unit. Okay, na? Now coming to our first chapter, that is arrays. Yes. What is the meaning of arrays? So third unit, first chapter, that is arrays. Okay. Na? So yes, what is the meaning of arrays? What is the meaning of arrays? Here, array is a collection of similar data types. Array is a collection of similar data types, and these all data items are stored in contiguous memory location. Okay, na? So simply, yes, what is the meaning of here array? Array is a collection of similar data types. Collection of similar data types, and these data items are stored in contiguous memory location. This is the meaning of array. Okay, na? So we have already different types of data types, built-in data types. What are those? Integer, float, character. These all are different types of data types. Here in array, what we have to do here? So simply one array can store collection of similar data type. Collection of similar data type. These data items are stored in contiguous. So simply contiguous memory allocation. వరుసగా అండి ఓకేనా వరుసగా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేసేది array. Okay. Simply here array is a derived data type. Array is a derived data type. We have different types of data types. Okay. In first unit we have discussed. We have different types of data type. What are those? Primitive data types, user defined data type, derived data type. Okay, now wide data type. These all are different types of data types. So here array is a which kind of data type? Derived data type. This is interview question and this is interview question as well as our online question. Okay, now which one of the following? Which one of the following is example for derived data type? Your answer is arrays. So array is a derived data type which can store the primitive data types such as integer, character, double, float, etc. So here array is a derived data type. This derived data type can store primitive data types. Already we have different types of primitive data types. Primitive data types are also called as built-in data types. So this derived data type can store primitive data types like integer, character, double, float. So simply here array is a collection of similar data type. Okay, now if we want to store integer, all integers can store. If we want to store some name, nothing but characters, so all characters are stored. If we want to store float, arrays are used to all float values. So simply here array is a collection of similar data type. It is a derived data type. Okay, na? So this derived data type can store primitive data types such as integer, character, float, double, etc. Okay, simply this is nothing but our array. So how this array can store values? A particular value, is indicated in array is called as index number. Also called as subscript. Okay, na? So simply here array is a collection of similar data type. Collection of values simply. Here particular value is indicated in array is called as index number, also called as subscript. Subscript in array name. Okay, na? So here there are different types of array applications are there. Array applications are the uses of arrays. So first one, arrays are used to store a list of employees or student names. Okay, na? So arrays are used to store list of employees or student names or anything. Okay, na? Next one, arrays are used to store marks of students. Okay, now consider, for example, marks first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Okay, now, so these all marks are used in arrays. These all marks are stored in arrays with the help of arrays. Here, arrays are used to store a list of numbers or characters, etc. That is depends upon the data type. Arrays are used to store the list of numbers or characters. That is depends upon the data types we are using in array. Okay, na? So simply these all are different uses of array. Simply arrays are used to store employees, different employees or student or anything. Okay, na? So real-time object, anything real-time object we can store these arrays. Simply arrays are used to store marks of students or something, salaries of employees, like that. Okay, na? Here arrays are used to store list of numbers or characters that are depends upon type of data type. So these all are different uses of arrays. Now coming to our applications, real-time applications, applications of arrays. Okay. So here arrays are used to store a list of values. Our definition says array is a collection of similar data types. Kada? Similar data types are nothing but we can store list of values. So the first application is arrays are used to store a list of values. Okay. Next one, arrays are used to perform matrix operations. Yes. Okay. This is the major application. So if we want to develop any matrix, it may be one dimension, it may be two dimension, it may be a multi-dimension matrix. So these type of matrix are developed with the help of arrays. Okay. So arrays are used to perform matrix operations. We can design matrix with the help of arrays. We can perform different operations, multiple matrix addition, matrix subtraction, matrix multiplication, matrix transportation. Okay, na? Transportation. Okay, na? So these all are different applications of arrays. So simply we can perform different operations on matrix with the help of these arrays. Okay, and also arrays are used to implement searching algorithms. Arrays are used to implement different kinds of searching algorithms. What is the meaning of searching? Here, searching is nothing but find the particular item present in a list or not. Okay, na? So simply searching is nothing but there are different items are there. If we want to search particular item is available or not, this is called as search. So simply arrays are used to implement searching algorithms. There are two most popular searching algorithms are there: linear search, binary search. Okay, na? So these kind of programs we have to develop these particular arrays. Okay, so simply arrays are used to implement a searching algorithms like linear search, binary search. This is nothing but data structures application, and these are nothing but data structures applications. Okay, na? Now coming to our last one, arrays are used to implement sorting algorithms. Arrays are used to implement sorting algorithms. What is the meaning of sorting? Simply, sorting is nothing but arrange the element either ascending or descending. Okay, na? So we have 10 items. For example, consider we have 10 items, 8, 2, 3, 1, 0. So like this in order. So with the help of sorting, we can arrange the element in order, either ascending or descending. So simply with the help of arrays, we can develop different kinds of sorting algorithms like insertion sort, bubble sort, selection sort, quick sort, merge sort. These all are different applications of data structures అండి. ఓకేనా? సో డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ మీకు లేదండి, అదే మనకి సిఎస్సి వాళ్ళకైతే డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ అని ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. సో దీస్ ఆల్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్. These are all different kinds of data structures. So simply we develop these all types of sorting, searching algorithms with the help of arrays only. Okay, and then these all are different applications of arrays. Okay, so important question and the define array, explain applications of arrays and start the question. Okay, so 7 marks is study array definition rayali. So array applications rayali. So simply arrays are used to sort a list of values. Arrays are used to perform matrix operations. So arrays are used to implement different types of searching algorithms and also sorting algorithms. Yes, searching algorithms are linear search, binary search, etc. Yes, sorting algorithms are nothing but insertion sort, bubble sort, selection sort, quick sort, merge sort, etc. So these all are developed with the help of our arrays. Okay, then so simply we can conclude array is a collection of different, no, collection of similar data type. Okay, arrays are used to collection of similar data type. These all are stored in the memory in contiguous. Contiguous is nothing but sequence or sagan meaning. Okay. Now types of arrays. Types of arrays. Here arrays are two different types. There are two different types of arrays. Okay, arrays అనేవి మనకి రెండు రకాలుగా ఉంటాయంట చూద్దాం. ఓకేనా, there are two different kinds of arrays. First one is one dimension array. One dimension array. Second one is multi-dimensional array. Okay, first one is one dimension array. Second one is multi-dimensional array. So in multi-dimensional array, two-dimensional array is the one type of multi-dimensional array. Three-dimensional array is a one kind of multi-dimensional array, and also four dimension also, etc. Four dimension also, five dimension also. So like this. Okay, and these all are under the type of multi-dimensional array. Okay, now simply first type of array is one dimensional array. Second type of array is nothing but multi-dimensional array. Okay, multi-dimension is nothing but two dimension, three dimension, four dimension, etc. These all are under the category of multi-dimensional array. Okay, now so coming to our first one, that is one dimensional array. Coming to our first one, that is one dimension array. Okay, what is the meaning of one dimension array? How do we create a one dimension array? How do we define a one dimension array? How do we insert different elements in one dimension array? How do we perform different operations on one dimension array? These all are discussed now. So coming to our one dimension array. One dimension array is a one type of array. One dimension array is a one type of array. Okay, na? It has only one subscript. It has only one subscript to specify a particular element of an array. That means, that means, that means, for example, if you take a vector matrix, what is the meaning of vector matrix? Vector matrix are nothing but it consists of only one column. Correct? Vector matrix consists of only one column. So that vector matrix is nothing but one dimensional. That type of vector matrix can implement with the help of this one dimension array. So one dimension array consists of only one column. Okay, only one column. There may be n number of rows. There may be one number of rows. So simply one dimension array is nothing but one dimension array is a one type of array. It consists of only one subscript. A subscript is nothing but column. Subscript is nothing but column. Matrix consists of rows and columns. Matrix consists of rows and columns. So here one dimension array consists of only one subscript. Here one subscript is nothing but we may call one column. Only one column. So one dimension array consists of only one subscript to specify a particular element of array. Okay. So example of this one dimension array is nothing but vector matrix. Vector matrix. What is the meaning of vector matrix? Vector matrix consists of only one column. Only one column. Okay. So there may be n number of rows. N number of rows ఉండొచ్చు కానీ ఒకే ఒక కాలం ఉంటుంది. ఇటువంటి మ్యాట్రిక్స్ మనం ఏమంటాము అంటే వన్ డైమెన్షన్ మ్యాట్రిక్స్ అంటామండి. సో దోస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ వన్ డైమెన్షన్ మ్యాట్రిక్స్ ఆర్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్ విత్ ది హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ వన్ డైమెన్షన్ array. One dimension array consists of only one subscript. Okay, here the subscript values starts from 0. So generally subscript values 1 నుంచి మనం కౌంట్ చేస్తామండి, but here arrays the subscript value starts from 0. If we want to 5 elements, if we want to 5 elements, here the declaration will be yes. Okay na? So one dimension array ni మీరు ఏ విధంగా డిక్లేర్ చేస్తారంట? So int space number of 5. here square brackets and okay, number of square brackets, number of 5. What is the meaning of this? Number is a data type. No, number is a variable. Number is a variable. Int is a data type. Here, this is the subscript. This is the subscript అండి. సో 5 అనేది సబ్స్క్రిప్ట్ అనమాట. సో ఇక్కడ 5 అనేది ఏంటి అంటే, సో 5 ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని స్టోర్ చేయగలదు. ఒకే ఒక సబ్స్క్రిప్ట్ ఉంది ఇక్కడ. ఆ ఒకే ఒక సబ్స్క్రిప్ట్ అంటే ఒకే ఒక కాలం అనమాట. ఒక కాలంలో మనం 5 వాల్యూస్ ని స్టోర్ చేస్తాం ఇక్కడ. సో సింప్లీ దిస్ ఈజ్ ద సింపుల్ డిక్లరేషన్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ అరే. సో సింప్లీ నెంబర్ ఈజ్ ఏ వేరియబుల్ కదా, నెంబర్ ఈజ్ ఏ వేరియబుల్. సో సింప్లీ దిస్ ఈజ్ ద అరే నేమ్. Number is a array name. It can store one subscript, nothing but 5 values. That is the type of integer. Okay, so this is the simple declaration of our array. Int space array name, int space array name subscript. That is the format. Example is here int, that is data type space number, that is the name of the array, nothing but variable subscript in square brackets మన subscript number రాస్తామండి. So subscript is nothing but which is used to store some values. ఓకేనా. సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని ఏ విధంగా స్టోర్ చేస్తామంటే, the elements will be a number of 0, number of 1, number of 2, number of 3, number of 4. సో ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు 4 అన్నాము అంటే, the subscript value starts from 0 అన్నాము కాబట్టి, the subscript values starts from 0 అన్నాము కాబట్టి, సో 0 నుంచి కౌంట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఒక నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ 0 ఒక వాల్యూ స్టోర్ చేస్తాం, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ 1 ఒక వాల్యూ స్టోర్ చేస్తాం, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ 2, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ 3 అండ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ 4. సో ఇన్ దిస్ వే we are storing the values in array, that is one dimension array. So total number of values are, this is 1 2 3 4 5. We are storing 5 elements in the array, that is number. Okay, the name of the array is number, that is the type of integer. In this array there is a one substitution. In the one substitution there are 5 elements are stored. Here one element is start from 0, the last element is 4. So 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so here what is the definition of our array? Array is a collection of similar data types. Array is a collection of similar data type. Here collection of similar data type means int space number of 5. That means this number is a array. This array can store 5 numbers. That is the type of integer. That means here number is array. This array can store collection of 5 elements. Those are same type of integer. So our definition says array is a collection of similar data types. So ante meaning enti, so same data types lo ఉన్న multiple elements ni oka variable lo store cheste danne manam array antamandi. So this example says simply int is a data type, number is a array name, nothing but variable, subscript nothing but of 5. So this particular variable can store 5 elements. Those are all integer type. So this is our definition. So simply array is a collection of similar data types. Here array is nothing but number. Okay, a collection of 5 elements are nothing but integer data type. Okay, so simply we can conclude array is a collection of similar data types. In this way we can declare one dimension array. Okay, again one dimension array. Now coming to our declaration of one dimension array. Already seen మనం చూసామండి, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చూద్దాం. ఓకేనా, విత్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ చూద్దాం. Declaration of one dimension array. So here there is a syntax, okay, to declare one dimension array. Data type variable name is nothing but array name, variable name nothing but array name, subscript nothing but in square bracket size mention చేస్తాం. This is only one subscript కదా. One dimension array is nothing but one subscript. It consists of only one subscript. ఇక్కడ size ఇక్కడ మనం size mention చేస్తామండి. yes, okay, I can size mention చేస్తా. So simple here, data type is nothing but we may use integer, float, character, etc. Variable name is nothing but we can use any identifier. Variable name nothing but we can use any identifier. Identifier is nothing but variable name and identifier is nothing but variable name A, B, C, లేదా name, okay na? Something student, employee, we can use that type of identifier. Okay na? So simply variable name is nothing but array name. Variable name is nothing but array name, that is identifier. Identifier is nothing but any name, a name and unchukkochu. Okay na? Here size is nothing but maximum number of elements that can be stored in array. Size lo మనం రాస్తామంటే size is nothing but maximum number of elements that can be stored in array. So simply this is the syntax of our one dimensional array, that is data type space array name nothing but variable name in square bracket size semicolon. So example ఏ విధంగా రాస్తాం చూడండి. int ఇక డేటా టైప్ కి int స్పేస్ వేరియబుల్ నేమ్ నథింగ్ బట్ array నేమ్ ఏం పెట్టాను avg average avg అని పెట్టాను. ఇన్ సబ్స్క్రిప్ట్ వన్ డైమెన్షన్ array కాబట్టి ఇన్ సబ్స్క్రిప్ట్ 50. That means avg is the array name. It can store 50 elements. Those all 50 elements are nothing but integer type. మనం 50 ఎలిమెంట్స్ స్టోర్ చేయగలం దీంట్లో ఇన్ avg అనే array name లో. But these 50 elements type of integers values మాత్రం స్టోర్ చేయాలి. ఎందుకంటే here array is a collection of similar data type కదా. So simply this array is the type of integer. So avg array is the type of integer. It can store only 50 elements. Those all are integer type. Okay na? So ఆ వాల్యూస్ ఏ విధంగా స్టోర్ చేస్తామంట మనం. సో 0 నుంచి 49 వరకు స్టోర్ చేస్తాం. Why? Because array subscription is start from 0 నుంచి కాబట్టి here we want to store 50 elements కాబట్టి 0 to 49 elements స్టోర్ చేస్తామండి. 0 to 49 elements స్టోర్ చేస్తాం. This is the range of that particular array, that is avg. Okay na? This is the declaration of one dimensional array. Okay, in tomorrow class we will discuss how different elements, okay na, how elements are stored in already declared array. So array ni declare చేసాము. Okay, now in tomorrow class how elements are stored in already declared array, tomorrow we will discuss. Okay na? Now you can leave, prepare for next class. Thank you.